Hey YouTube, what's up? It is your girl Jacqi Dollhouse back with another tutorial. I know it's been forever, but here we are with a frontal install. This is a sew-in, not a wig. And I will show you guys how I sew this in, install this, and yeah, if you want to learn, keep on watching. Alright guys, so I'm starting off with the braids already, just some straight backs. I'm going to sew those in just to make sure the video is not too long. I'm going right into it. I always like to put something on the scalp just to make sure that the hair is growing while it's installed because we always want growth. And of course, I use a net with every install that I do. So I'm going to sew that up. Make sure she hold that on. And this is my 13 by 6 lace frontal in Burmese loose wave. So this is a trick that I do normally when I do like glueless. This one is going to be a glue style, but this is what I do for a glueless. Instead of putting the elastic band, I just sew back and forth, creating a band with the thread like so. And I just do it a few times until it's secure. And I have her hold down the ear tabs so I can just make sure it's exactly where I want it to sit. And I cut out her ears. You might have some excess lace that you're going to let go of, and that's okay. So I'm going to have her hold it in place, and that is just to make sure that it's not moving as I'm sewing it up. And she'll let me know if it inch back at all or anything like that. But periodically I just check it. Make sure you put your stitches pretty close so you don't have a lumpy looking frontal. Now that thread that I sewed on in the back of it to hold it together earlier, I will cut that off. Now if I was doing a glueless install, I will leave that on, but today I'm cutting it off because it's not necessary. It was just to hold everything in place. Okay, yep, there you go, taking it off. All right, so for the first track, I am going to sew it from one end of the frontal to the other end, and I'm going under the braid just in case we want to do any type of styles that's gonna, just make it like one whole unit. If she want to put it in a ponytail, not too high because she still got the kitchen back there. So yeah, we could do like a low ponytail and it's nice and clean. So I'm going to start the track from inside there versus the outside where I just had it at, because that allowed me to add more tracks in and make this a lot fuller. I will be using 3 bundles, and this is my Burmese loose wave. Once again, I'll put the link to my website at the bottom. Go check it out. Purchase if you like, or just check me out. Check your girl out. All right. So right back to this. I'm just going to go back and forth until I get to the top. So I am going to show you guys how I do it. Just in case. I mean, I know there's a lot of videos up here that show it, but I didn't want to skip too much because, this is a detailed tutorial and I didn't want to cut out anything that may be important. So as you can see, I still didn't make it all the way over to the frontal yet because I put in basically the first bundle down there. And you don't want to pull too much back and forth on the frontal. That's the trick I use a lot when I don't use glue at all, but this way is done a little different. Let me know if you guys want to see a glueless frontal install, and I'll show you guys how I do that. Now when I do that, I do use a little bit of my natural sideburns, about a ½ inch, and I'll talk about that a different time. Let's get back to the tutorial. So I'm getting up to the top. When I fold it, I press it down just to make sure there's no lumps. And my wefts are really thin also, so you're not going to have any, bulging or bulking when you fold over the tracks. Okay, so when I get up to the top, when I have about 3 more tracks left, I do cut the wefts just to make sure I have a really clean, sleek, flat as can be install. Yep, so I cut that track. And then I think I cut the next 2 or 3, however many it took me to finish it up. Okay, so now I'm all finished with sewing it up, or sewing in the tracks at least. Now I'm going to sew in the frontal, and I do a single knot thread, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but I didn't double the thread. I just knotted one side and I sewed it through just so you can't see the thread through the lace. And I am sewing it on a braid. I do about, I want to say, four on each side, so I have a hold it in place so I can make sure that I sew it intact. And this is just so her frontal don't be flopping back, and whenever she need to clean it, she still could kind of wear it down and get away with it without it being all the way pulled back. I'm using my zigzag scissors because I think it just give the most natural look. I know a lot of people use the razors, but I still like this technique. This works for me. If it's not broken, I'm not going to fix it. Now, Asha didn't want to use her own sideburns, so that's why I did this way. Um, I'm cleaning her hairline with alcohol to make sure that it stick, because she does have on a little makeup. And of course, I'm using a good old faithful Gots to Be glue gel. I'm going to do 2 layers of it. Just a thin layer. You don't want to put on too much. I blow dry it just till it get tacky, and then I apply another layer. And then I blow dry that again until it's tacky, and then I proceed to lay down the frontal. I always start from the middle because I think it just helps me line it up a little better. And I use a rat tail comb to, just to flatten it and rub it down. Because if you use your finger, to me, I think it get a little crusty when you use your finger, especially if you're a little warm. So I try not to use the finger too much. But of course, you're using some fingers, but just not all fingers. And then I blow dry that. I know most people usually tie something around the head just to kind of melt it in and lay it down. Like I said, I usually don't use the glue or the gel, so I didn't do that way. I just sprayed it down the little access areas, and I just blow dried it until it was dry. All right, so I'm just hitting up the little areas that might be lifted a little bit, or just to double secure it. When I do this method, it do last about 5-6 days, and then she could lay it back down herself. So I'm using a spray bottle with some water just to kind of mold it. And this is my absolute favorite Nairobi. I mean, it just does the lace so well. And it just molded and shaped the style how I want it. Blow drying it just to make sure that it has a nice flow. I'm gonna give her a little bit of baby hairs, not too much. We grown ladies, we don't be needing all that extra baby hair. So I just gave her a little bit just to camouflage the lace a little bit, and to give her a little cutesy look. Okay, so this, she did bleach her knots. She's the best with bleaching knots, but we had a little spill, so I'm correcting that with some mascara. I'm sure you guys know about that trick, but yeah, if you ever over bleach your knots, you can always correct it with some mascara. So I'm gonna cut her some layers. I didn't catch all of it on camera. I don't know what happened, but yeah. This is what it looked like. When you open it up, you see nothing, as this is what all my weaves look like. I like that nice, clean, seamless look on the inside. And yeah, that's what it looked like. So I'm going to curl her up. I'm not going to show that on this because, again, I don't want it to be a long video. So she's pin curl now, and I'm going to lay this out and show you guys the finishing result. So hopefully this was very helpful for you guys. I try to put in what was important. This can take a long time, but I didn't want the video to be too long. But hopefully you guys learned something from this. And if you have any questions, make sure you drop that comment below. And if you want to book an appointment, the link is below. You can click my website, which will take you to my price list. And you can also Follow me on Instagram where I have my booking site directly in my feed. I will put my personal page below as well as my hair page. All right, guys. Thanks for watching and make sure you stay tuned for the next video. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Oh, I just had to do this in a side style. This is such a beautiful prom or bridal look, isn't it? I love it. All right, guys. So I see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. She loves it. Bye.